Hey guys, Ben, 406 Garage. We had some friends stop by today that do similar work to what we do, so we thought we'd grab the camera and share it with you guys. It's not internationals, I'm going to warn you, it's not internationals. Now, they do have an international power plant in some of these trucks.
That is true.
And Devin and Kenny here from OBS Solutions, they definitely love the 7.3. They embrace it. They still use it. So
we like to hug it. We give hugs.
Devin and Kenny, let's call him Kevin.
Thank you.
Kevin.
Mr. Bucket.
Yeah, Mr. Boucher.
That's my NASCAR name.
They preserve the OBS Fords, and specifically what they work on is like 87 to 97, this body style Ford here. And they do what to the Fords and kind of the restoration, preservation, a lot what we do to the internationals. Drivetrain improvements, suspension improvements, daily drivability improvements, you know, updating axles, things like that, to where you can take these old trucks and go out and drive them and use them again. So obviously we kind of have a little friendship because we do the same stuff, we just do it to different trucks. So Devin, can you talk a little bit to that as far as like why this body style and why this truck? What does this truck speak to you for?
Well, it's like anything, just like you. It's basically it's the love of the body style. You know, it's like, you know, I remember talking to you about internationals, and you know, you just fell in love with that body style early on in life, and you've always liked it, regardless of, you know, what you drive on a daily. You're still drawn to this body style. Same thing with Kenny and I. We've always been a big fan of the brick nose, the bull nose, and this is what's called the arrow nose. It's that 87 to 97 era pickups and Broncos. So it's always been our love. We just always tinker with them like you. And then what happened is it rolled into a bigger snowball, and here we are with this truck that we took all the way to Texas for LST show. And yeah, and you know, it's just the love of the body style is what it is.
Now you have a regular business as well. This was not initially the primary business.
Correct. We have a normal. We have a repair business in Albany called Crabtree Automotive. That is all I've done my entire life since I was 14. Work on cars, and then I just always had an OBS that I was always working on or tinkering with, and we just made one product, and that spurred on a business of multiple products. And we also do installs for customers. They bring them from all over the United States. We'll do suspension, interior, powertrain stuff, kind of like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just in a different market, obviously, for the body style.
So this was kind of, you say, like a side hustle initially, just kind of a hobby?
They all start as a side hustle until you realize you have to pay taxes, right? You're making enough money, like, oh shit, you know.
That's how we met, when it was just something you were doing out of your garage with parts. Like,
yeah.
The first product we ever came up with, the Tomir brackets. I found you on social media, Devin, and I'm like, hey man, that's a really cool product. I need this for my personal truck. And I thought I had no idea where he lived. I saw Oregon plates, but I figured by my luck he'd be a couple hours away, and he was just 45 minutes down the road. Stopped by. I told my wife I'd be gone for an hour or so, and 4 hours later I'm getting a phone call.
Right.
What are you doing? Where did you get?
So it sounds like every time you stop by here.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly. Our business model is we don't create a product for a market. We create something that we want for ourselves. Everything that we've created product-wise is something we wanted for our own trucks, or there was a gap and it needed to be filled. Be it a bracket to repair internal door panels that break out or something like that, or putting a better mirror on for towing. That's the only reason why we did that. I couldn't see around my toy hauler with this body style truck. The mirrors were they're terrible. So that's how that started. Rolling along, it's like, hey man, that looks cool, let's do this. And here we are, we create a product by doing a process procedure. So
yeah. Now this is your truck. Your truck is a brick nose truck, or more of the square body style.
Yeah, 87 to 91 has that flat front end with the composite flat headlights. They're kind of the red-headed stepchild of the generation trio.
Let's be nice.
I don't see any red up there anymore.
It's looking gray.
I mean, it's salty red.
Yeah.
Salty.
Yeah. But Devin and I get, everybody tells me, Devin included, they hate brick nose trucks, but they like mine for some reason.
Listen, people, I don't hate brick nose trucks. We have a couple in the family. I love brick nose trucks. I just gotta give Kenny a hard time about his. I don't want his ego to get exploded. So
didn't yours start out as just a nice, simple farm truck, like 33-inch tires? I'm just gonna enjoy this and throw some hay in the back and tow my car trailer with it once in a while, and now it's on 4-link and coils and 40s and a Cummins and it kind of just like that.
Yeah, it took about 8 years, and it had it really rolled out of control, and it was a dream. Devin talks about having a passion for the trucks. I was a little kid when these trucks were new. Mom worked for a logging company, and I would go hang out, and the owners all had brand new ones, and those guys were the king of the world. When I looked at him, I was like, that guy's cool. Look at that badass Ford truck he's got. And I always wanted to have one, but I was too young at the time to even afford one. And honestly, the reason why I have a brick nose truck is not because they're my favorites. It's because when I had the money to get a truck on a 1-ton crew cab diesel pickup,
Sure,
I couldn't afford a Power Stroke.
fit the budget.
Yeah, I had a certain amount of money, and that's what I got.
Right.
And my truck was an IDI.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just happened. That's what we have to tell some of our customers. Guys get the stars in their eyes, and it's like, it's not cheap, but you don't have to do it overnight.
Right. It can be a step by step process.
And enjoy the process. You know,
Right.
it's cool to have it all done at once, but I know, at least for me, I enjoy working on the trucks just as much as the final product, because it's creating something or helping somebody make their dream a reality,
Yeah.
and making their truck into something they can enjoy driving and use, versus I don't really like driving because the ride's bad or doesn't have enough power, you know, whatever it might be.
We always tell people small steps.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your budget is, we kind of like just do small steps. Just like anything with your clientele, you can either go, wide open, or you can do it as a budget and do like project stuff and kind of.
I personally like to be able to drive it along the way, kind of like what you're saying. It's like, even though you're doing steps each time, you can fix it up. And you
Correct.
can drive for a little while and be like,
Correct.
okay, I really like that. Okay, now let's do this.
Yep.
And that way you're not just blowing through the wallet, but
Right.
you're getting it done and enjoying it along the way.
And I was going to say, what's funny is there's it's cool to have a big, powerful powertrain or a
Sure.
fancy lift and wheels and tires. But sometimes the little things are almost more satisfying, like a door that opens and closes like a new
Clicks the
rig.
way
It
it
just,
is, yeah.
with new hinges that are adjusted perfectly, the striker's dialed, and you just click. I mean, it's one of the things that people notice most when they look at some of the trucks we put together.
Sure.
They're like, I can't believe how nice that door opens and closes. And we're like, it's really not. It's just a matter of understanding the process, doing it correctly with the right parts.
Absolutely. Okay, now I remember when you bought this truck because I saw a picture of it with the bed and
Right.
the fenders and stuff, and it was stock and it was beautiful, and it had the factory 16-inch Alcoas, and it didn't miss. It had all the trim and all the lights and all the handles. And Devin looked it over, and Devin said, "It's perfect. It's totally stock. It's not missing anything. It's white. It's my color."
Right.
And then this
So,
happened. So
Vin-
tell me
Vin-
the story of
Vin
how we
messed
got
up.
to this.
We have a saying OBS Solutions. Nothing is sacred. We'll put a Cummins in a Ford. We'll do Chevy mirrors on a Ford. We'll do big axles. Nothing is sacred. This truck,
There are certain things we do preserve,
there is, yes.
like the lines. Ford
Yes.
really got it really good here, but here, and some of the stuff in there.
We like to modify.
Yeah.
This started out as I was going to put together a camping truck. We do a lot of off-road camping, my family and I. And so I'm like, hey, let's make a flatbed that the kids can crawl over and put dirt bikes on. Yes, Kenny in the back.
We built a camping truck because what's the other truck you have?
We have another truck that started the business, and it's a mint condition crew cab, long box. It was a 460 truck that I've owned since 1999. It doesn't do anything except just stay in the shop.
What's the name of that truck?
Someone nicknamed the Princess Truck. Yes.
How many miles are on the Princess truck?
The truck has 87K on it, and it's got only 10K on the entire powertrain. It's got a compound turbo Cummins 24 valve 47 RE. It's gnarly. It's on 38s and all that, but it was too nice to take up in the woods. And I'm like, hey, let's put another truck together.
So let's build something
Yes,
that's
so
beat up with scratches on it.
yes.
It's got
Something
dents
the
in
kids
it.
don't
Yes.
have to take their shoes off.
Yeah,
right
just
in the
climb
back.
in it, slam the doors,
Yes.
everything's fine.
Uh,
Spit and let
yes.
the dog pee on the wheels, whatever,
So we started out like, hey, I want to do a flatbed, but then we looking at flatbeds that were for sale and how they would go onto the truck. I didn't like that, and I didn't like the functionality of some flatbeds. So we came up with our own flatbed, and that's why it looks the way it does. And then I'm like, well, if we're gonna do that, let's just. I was actually gonna put a common rail in it, and they were like, well, let's do something with the 7.3. And so we made some phone calls, and the powertrain on this is pretty gnarly. We took the 7.3, took it to our Centaur machinist, girdled it, fire-ringed it, head studded it, rods, push rods, all the bells and whistles. Because I told him, hey, here's what I want to do with it. I want to pull a toy hauler over the pass, and our passes aren't small. So
yeah, 6, 8, 10% grades.
yeah, so I want to be able to pull weight, and then that snowballed into, well, if you're gonna do that, then we better do this. And next thing I know, we have this truck that went to LST. Now it's pretty dirty from coming back from Texas, but and And then it was like, well, the interior was kind of not really up to par, so we did all new Super Duty. We did a Super Duty seats in it, but yet then the Super Duty seats you can't just bolt them in like some people do. So we came out with a bracket system that bolts to the factory floor pan. It puts the seats low. That was another thing we came out with. So it's just out of necessity, like I said. That's how the business has always been. That's how it's. We keep steamrolling along. It's just, hey, I need this for myself. I don't care what the market looks like. I just want it for myself, and that seems to be how we keep staying busy. So.
Well, I think we're all friends, and correct me if I'm wrong, because we all share the passion for these old trucks.
Sure.
Doesn't matter what it is. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, International, you know, we all just love old trucks and we want to see more of them back on the road. So I think that's a really cool thing about this, and I think everybody can appreciate is it's cool old trucks, great stories of why you built it, what you could afford to build, and what made sense at the time. So it appeals to everybody,
Absolutely.
right?
I'm just curious. You're an international guy, and I see a bullnose over there, Ford. I
Yeah.
spotted a bullnose over there.
That's a package deal with that other truck.
Oh,
if you want
maybe
both,
maybe we're starting to
yeah,
see.
yeah. Crossover.
Ben just goes, I got something you need.
Yeah.
That's how he lures us here. Hey, by the way, stop by. I got some axles.
some
You gotta
Ford
look at-
parts.
He like hooks us in.
I
love
got
it.
Ford parts. Come get them.
Well, Ben, it's always been a pleasure to come by your place, and if I wasn't gone for 2 weeks on the road, I would stay here. We
I
have some
know. I
whiskey.
appreciate you guys stopping by. If any of you guys want to check these guys out on all the socials, OBS Solutions, I believe obssolutions.com, OBS Solutions on
.net.
Instagram.
.net.
Oh, I'm sorry,
.net.
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 They got in on it late. So.
Yes,
Yeah, we
we're
can't
late
afford
to
the
the
comm
show.
stuff. That's-
They are on Instagram, OBS Solutions on there. You guys have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, we do some YouTube
A couple
stuff. for
YouTube,
sure.
so OBS
Yes.
Solutions. Check them out if you're an OBS Ford guy or just an old truck guy. I always appreciate them stopping by, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys like, tag, share, and follow, and help us continue to tell the stories of these trucks.